Emily, are you awake? I whispered, pushing the bedroom door open. The lights were still on. She looked up from her book, smiled, and patted the side of the bed. Of course, you're home late again. I had to finish the project at E. Work. You know how my boss is. I dropped my bag on the chair, loosening my tie. But seeing you makes all the stress worth it. She closed her book, tilting her head. You always say that. Because it's true, I said, sitting beside her. I brushed a strand of hair from her face. You're the only thing that makes sense in my life. 3 years, Em, and I still feel like the luckiest man alive. She laughed softly. You make it sound like I'm some prize you won. No, I shook my head. You're not a prize. You're the reason I try. The reason I get up in the morning. Her smile faltered for half a second, almost too quick to notice. You put too much on me, Ryan. You don't have to. I want to, I cut in. Every sacrifice I make, every late night, it's because I see a future with you. Don't you? She hesitated, then placed her hand on mine. Of course I do. I believed her. I always believed her. 2 weeks later, everything fell apart. I got off work earlier than usual. The city air felt different, lighter somehow. I thought, I'll surprise her. Maybe take her out to that Italian place she loves. I opened the apartment, door quietly, smiling to myself. Em, I'm home early. No answer. The living room was empty, but music was playing faintly from the bedroom. I walked toward it, pushing the door open, and froze. Jason was there. Jason, my brother in everything but blood. His shirt was half off, his hands all over Emily. She was kissing him like I never existed. My throat closed up. What the hell? Is this? They both jerked back. Emily's eyes widened, horror flooding her face. Ryan! Wait! This isn't... Don't you dare! I snapped, my voice breaking. Jason stood, running a hand through his hair like he always did when caught. Man, listen. Don't call me that. My chest burned, rage twisting inside me. 3 years, Emily. 3 years I gave you everything. And you... I turned to Jason, fists shaking. You were my best friend, my brother. How could you? He smirked, just slightly. It just happened, okay? Don't make this a big deal. A big deal? I laughed bitterly, the sound sharp. I trusted you with my life. I defended you when everyone else said you were selfish. And you're in my bed with her? Emily grabbed the sheet, wrapping it around herself. Tears welled up. Ryan, please. I didn't mean for this. Don't lie to me, my voice cracked. How long? Tell me the truth. Her lips trembled. Silence. That long? I whispered. My legs felt weak, like the ground was crumbling beneath me. Jason crossed his arms. You're overreacting. Relationships end. People, move on. Don't act like you own her. I stepped closer, shaking with fury. Move on? You didn't even give me the chance to know it was over. You stabbed me in the back, Jason. Both of you did. Emily sobbed. Ryan, I swear I still care about you. Care? I laughed again, hollow and broken. You cared while you were in his arms? You cared while you kissed him in my home, Jason muttered. This is pointless. Let's just talk later. I looked at him, my chest heaving. No, we're done talking. We're done being friends. You're dead to me. Emily reached for me, but I pulled away like her touch burned. My voice dropped cold and final. And you don't ever speak to me again. Her tears fell harder. Ryan, please. I didn't wait. I couldn't. My heart felt like glass shattering inside. Me. I turned, storming out of the apartment. The door slammed behind me, echoing through the hallway like a gunshot. Outside, the night air cut sharp against my skin, but nothing could numb the fire raging in my chest. My mind replayed every moment. Her smile, his laughter, the trust I gave them both. Now every memory felt poisoned. I whispered to myself, how could they do this to me? My hands trembled. I wanted to scream, to hit something, to rip the sky apart. Instead, I kept walking, each step heavier than the last. The city lights blurred through my tears. Strangers passed me by, but no one saw the war inside me. I thought about turning back, demanding answers, but what more was there to say? The betrayal was written in their faces. 3 years of love, 20 years of friendship, all gone in one night. My chest ached as if someone had carved out my heart with their bare hands. I pressed my fist against it, whispering, I gave you everything, and you gave me nothing but lies. The world didn't answer, only silence. And in that silence, I realized my life would never be the same again. I sat on the edge of my bed, staring at the phone buzzing endlessly. Emily's name lit up the screen again. Ryan, please just answer me. It's not what you think. Her voice crackled through the last voicemail I forced myself to play. My throat tightened. Not what I think? I muttered. I saw it with my own eyes. The screen dimmed, but the flood of text was still there. Ryan, please, let me explain. You don't understand. It was complicated. I clenched the phone until my knuckles ached. Complicated? She was in his arms, whispering words I used to believe belonged to me. Another buzz. Jason this time. My heart pounded as I opened his message. Move on, man. She was never yours. I dropped the phone on the floor like it burned me. My chest heaved, rage twisting inside me. The door creaked open. My mother's voice was soft. Ryan, sweetheart, you haven't eaten all day. Please, just a little soup. I rubbed my face, unable to meet her eyes. I'm not hungry. She walked closer, placing the bowl on my desk. You look pale. I'm worried. Mom, I'm fine, I whispered, though the lie was hollow. Her hand touched my shoulder gently. You don't talk to me anymore. Please tell me what's wrong. My eyes stung. Words fought to escape, but all I managed was, I can't. She sighed but didn't push. All right, I'll be downstairs if you need me. The silence after she left felt heavier than before. I collapsed back onto the bed, staring at the ceiling. My mind dragged me into memories I didn't want. Emily laughing at my stupid jokes, her head on my chest, promising, you're the only one I'll ever love. Jason clapping my back once, smirking, you're lucky, man. She's special. How blind was I? Another flash. Emily ending calls quickly when I walked in, saying it was just work. Jason showing up at odd hours, always a little too casual in my kitchen. I gritted my teeth. I let it happen. The phone buzzed again. Emily again. Ryan, please pick up. I can't lose you. I laughed bitterly, choking on the sound. You already did. My stomach twisted, but I ignored the untouched soup. Hunger meant nothing now. The dark whisper inside me grew louder. You gave her everything, and she chose him. I clenched my fists. Why wasn't I enough? The phone lit up one more time. Another message from Jason. Don't embarrass yourself. Man, she's happier now. Accept it. My vision blurred. My breath came sharp, uneven. I wanted to scream, but the sound stayed trapped inside. The door cracked open again. My mom's voice trembled. Ryan, you're scaring me. Please don't. Shut me out completely. I sat up, swallowing the lump in my throat. I just need time, Mom. That's all. She nodded slowly, her eyes glossy. I'll give you time. But remember, silence can drown you. Don't let it. When she left, her words echoed in my mind. Silence can drown you. I lay in the dark, phone still glowing beside me, haunted by messages I couldn't delete. Emily begging, Jason mocking, my own voice whispering blame. And through it all, the silence pressed down, pulling me deeper. I was sitting alone on a bench outside the small cafe downtown, stirring a coffee I didn't even want, when a soft voice broke through my fog. Ryan? I looked up, startled. Chloe stood there, Emily's best friend. My chest tightened instantly. "What do you want?" I muttered. She sat across from me without waiting for permission. "I'm not here to defend her." I narrowed my eyes. "Then why are you here at all?" "Because I know what she did," she said quietly. "And I can't just watch you drown in it." Her words scraped against the silence I'd been living in. "You don't know anything," I said, though my voice wavered. "I do," she insisted. "I saw the way she lied. I heard the excuses. I wanted to say something before, but she was my friend too. I thought I was protecting her. Now I realize I was just enabling her." I clenched my fists on the table. "So now you want to ease your conscience?" Chloe shook her head. "No. I want to tell you the truth. Emily was never loyal to you. I could see it in her eyes when Jason walked into a room. I hated myself for not warning you." My jaw tightened. "So why now? Why come to me after everything's already broken?" "Because I watched you love her with everything you had," she said softly. "And I watched her throw it away like it was nothing. You don't deserve silence. You deserve someone to say it out loud." Her honesty stung. I leaned back, fighting the urge to walk away. "You think I don't already know that?" "I think you're blaming yourself," she replied quickly. "And that's the worst lie of all. This wasn't your failure." I exhaled sharply, bitterness rising. I trusted her. I trusted Jason. Maybe I was just stupid. "No," Chloe said firmly. "You were genuine. That's not stupidity. That's strength. Don't twist it into weakness just because they couldn't match it." Her words hung in the air, heavy but strangely steadying. "You pity me," I accused, staring at the table. She leaned forward. "No. If I pitied you, I'd feed you empty comfort. I'm giving you the truth instead." I met her gaze. Her eyes didn't flinch. "You think the truth helps?" I asked. "Yes," she said, "because it reminds you that you weren't the one who failed. They did. And you can't waste yourself on people who already threw you away." That line cut through me like a blade, clean and sharp. I repeated it in my mind, unwilling to let it go. "Don't waste myself," I murmured under my breath. Chloe nodded. "Exactly. You're still here, Ryan. Don't let them take more than they already have." I stared at her, conflicted. "Why? Are you even trying? You were her best friend. Shouldn't you be on her side?" "I can't stand by her when I know what she did destroyed you," she replied. "Friendship doesn't mean protecting someone's lies. It means doing what's right, even if it hurts." I let out a humorless laugh. "Doing what's right, I wouldn't even know where to start." "Start with yourself," she said simply. "Eat, sleep. Stop carrying her betrayal like it's your fault. Step by step, you'll come back." Her tone was steady, not demanding, not desperate, just real. For a moment, I didn't know what to say. My throat tightened. I thought I'd never breathe again after that night. Now I don't know. Maybe I can. "You can," Chloe said gently. "And you will. But only if you stop living in their shadow." I rubbed my face, feeling a weight shift slightly inside me. "You make it sound easy." "It's not easy," she admitted. "But it's possible. And right now, that's enough." Silence stretched between us, but it wasn't the crushing silence I'd been drowning in. It was lighter, almost bearable. I finally spoke. "Thanks for saying what no one else would," she gave me a faint smile. "I didn't come here to rescue you, just to remind you. You still have a life worth fighting for." Her words lingered long after she left, and for the first time since my world shattered, I believed I might be able to stand again. "Are you really going to sit here all day again?" Chloe's voice cut through my haze as I scrolled mindlessly on my phone. "I'm not," I sighed, catching my reflection on the black screen when it dimmed. "All right, maybe I am." "You're spiraling again," she said firmly. "Ryan, you told me you wanted to change, then prove it." "Change isn't easy," I muttered. "Every time I try, I hear their voices, see their faces. Jason's smirk, Emily's laugh. It's like they're living rent-free in my head. Then start charging them, Chloe shot back. Hit the gym, run until your lungs burn. Do something that reminds you you're alive. Her words lodged in me. That afternoon, I laced up my old sneakers and walked into a gym for the first time in years. The air smelled of sweat and iron. My arms shook under the weight of the barbell, but each rep felt like I was pressing Jason's words off my chest. The next day, Chloe called. "So, did you go?" "Yeah," I admitted, wincing as I stretched. "Now I can't lift my arms," she laughed. "That's pain worth keeping. Don't quit." Day after day, I dragged myself there. Some mornings, I hated every second. My mind whispered, "You're still the fool she cheated on." But then Chloe's voice echoed louder. "Don't waste yourself on people who already threw you away." At work, Mark noticed. "Dude, you look different," he said as we grabbed coffee. "Different how?" I asked cautiously. "Not just physically. Sure, you're slimming down, but it's your eyes." "Less broken," I smirked. "Guess the weights are heavier than the heartbreak," he chuckled. "Keep it up. You're inspiring me to dust off my treadmill." I didn't expect his encouragement to matter, but it did. For the first time, I felt like someone saw me beyond the betrayal. Still, temptation lingered. One night, alone in my room, I opened Emily's profile. Photos of her and Jason smiling, his arm tight around her waist. My stomach twisted. The phone rang. "Chloe." "You're looking, aren't you?" I froze. "How the hell do you know?" "Because your voice sounds guilty. Close it. Now." "Easier said than done," I muttered. "Ryan," she warned, "every second you give them your attention, they win. Do you really want them to win again?" Her conviction jolted me. I closed the app, tossing the phone onto my bed. "Fine. Happy?" "No. I'll be happy when you're free," she said softly. Freedom became my obsession. I meal prepped instead of skipping dinners. I traded junk food for lean chicken and vegetables. The mirror slowly stopped mocking me and started nodding, back in approval. One morning, Mark clapped my shoulder. "You're glowing, man. Not in a weird way, just confident." "Confidence feels foreign," I admitted. "That's because you gave it away," he replied. "Now you're taking it back." His words stuck. I realized how much of myself I had handed to Emily, how much power Jason stole. But each squat, each mile, each bite of healthy food was me reclaiming pieces they couldn't touch anymore. Chloe kept me accountable. "What did you eat today?" she asked during one of our evening calls. "Grilled chicken, rice, broccoli." "And for dessert?" I hesitated. "Fine, a protein bar." "Don't judge," she laughed. "I'd judge if it was ice cream at midnight. This, I'll allow it." Her teasing made the process lighter, but beneath her laughter was always sincerity. "You're stronger than you think, Ryan. Every time you choose discipline over weakness, you're proving it." Yet the world wasn't kind. Rumors reached me. Emily and Jason were showing off their relationship, kissing in public, posting couple selfies. A coworker mentioned it casually, not realizing how deep the blade still went. That night I vented to Chloe. "They're flaunting it." Like rubbing salt into the wound, she didn't soften her tone. "Then let it sting. Let it fuel you. Pain can break you or build you. Decide." Her challenge lit a fire in me. I imagined them laughing together, and instead of collapsing, I tightened my fists, vowing they wouldn't get the last laugh. Mark noticed again at work. "You seem sharper today." "Sharpened by betrayal," I said, smirking. He raised a brow. "Dark, but I like it. Whatever you're doing, keep doing." At night, alone in bed, I whispered to myself, "Keep going. Don't stop. They don't own me anymore." The old Ryan still lingered, haunted, tempted, fragile, but the new Ryan was louder, heavier, and climbing out of the wreckage. For the first time since that night, I felt something close to hope. Chloe's words replayed in my head. "Don't waste yourself on people who already threw you away." I was finally learning not to. "Ryan, you've changed a lot," Mark said at work, eyeing me with a grin. Changed how? I asked, half distracted, scrolling through my phone. You actually smile now. You carry yourself differently. People notice. I nodded, but didn't reply, because right then my screen lit up with a message I never thought I'd see again. Emily, can we meet? Just for closure. My chest tightened. I set the phone down like it burned. Mark glanced at me. Bad news? Ghosts, I muttered. He didn't press further, but the words on the screen replayed in my head until I shoved the phone in my pocket. That evening, Chloe called. Her voice carried its usual firmness. Ryan, you're free tomorrow, right? I guess. Why? I'm hosting a small dinner. Some friends are coming, you should join. I hesitated. I don't know if I'm ready for that. You are. You've been isolating for too long. It's time, I sighed. And what if she's there? Chloe went quiet for a moment. Emily won't be there. I wouldn't do that to you. I rubbed my temples. Still, what if I break down? Then you break down, but not alone, with people who care. That's the point. Her words stayed with me long after the call ended. At the dinner, I felt every pair of eyes land on me as Chloe ushered me inside. Laughter echoed through the cozy living room, plates of food filling the table. This is Ryan, Chloe introduced. A friend. One guy sized me up immediately. So you're the guy Chloe keeps talking about. Ethan, Chloe warned, glaring at him. I extended a hand anyway. Ryan, he shook it firmly. Ethan, brother privileges. I get to interrogate. I forced a smile. Go ahead. What's your deal? You hurt her? I'll know. I raised an eyebrow. I'm the one with scars, not her. Chloe cut in. Ethan, stop. He's here because I invited him. Ethan studied me, then nodded slowly. Fair enough, just making sure. Before I could exhale, another voice chimed in. So this is the famous Ryan, a girl said with a playful grin. Sophie, Chloe muttered. Sophie leaned forward across the table. Don't worry, I'm not scary like her brother. I just tell bad jokes. I chuckled nervously. I could probably use those. Perfect, she said. What did the left eye say to the right eye? Between us, something smells, I groaned, covering my face. That's terrible, Sophie grinned. See? Already working. The tension in my chest eased a little. Halfway through dinner, Ethan leaned closer. So you were with Emily, right? The name stung, but I met his eyes. Was, past tense. And now? Now she's with Jason, I said flatly. Sophie frowned. Ouch. That sounds like betrayal straight out of a soap opera. Pretty much, I muttered. Chloe's hand brushed mine under the table, a quiet reminder I wasn't alone. Ethan studied me again. And she tried to contact you? I exhaled. Today. Said she wanted closure. Closure? Sophie scoffed. That's code for messing with your peace. Exactly, I said. Ethan leaned back. And what did you say? Nothing, I replied. I ignored it, Sophie clapped. Good man, proud of you, I smirked faintly. Don't celebrate too fast. Part of me still wants to know why. Chloe's voice softened. Ryan, you already know why. She made her choice. Don't let her chain you back. Her words cut through me like they always did, direct, undeniable. Later, while Sophie and Ethan argued over dessert, Chloe pulled me aside to the balcony. The night air was cool against my face. You handled it well, she said quietly. Handled what? Being here. Talking about her. Not running away. I shrugged. Inside, I still feel like I'm running. But you stayed, she pressed. That matters. I looked out at the streetlights. She regrets it, you know. That's why she texted. She sees me now and wants back in. And a part of me almost wants to respond. Chloe crossed her arms. Ryan, listen. Regret isn't love. Regret is her realizing she lost control over you. Don't mistake that for something worth returning to. I closed my eyes. Why does it still sting then? Because scars itch when they're healing, she whispered. But healing means you don't reopen them. I let out a shaky laugh. You always know what to say. I just tell the truth, she said simply. When we returned inside, Sophie raised her glass. To new beginnings. Everyone echoed the toast. I lifted my glass too, though my mind was still tangled in shadows. But as Chloe's eyes met mine, steady and unyielding, I felt something stir. A quiet strength, faint but real. Maybe ghosts could return. But maybe I didn't have to let them haunt me anymore. I stood in front of the mirror before leaving, tugging at my shirt. Why do I feel like I'm about to sit an exam? I muttered to myself. When I arrived, Chloe opened the door with a grin. You made it, she said warmly. Barely, I replied. I almost turned around twice. She tilted her head. But you didn't. That's progress. Inside, voices echoed from the dining room. I could smell roasted chicken and hear laughter. My chest tightened. Ready? She asked. Not even close, I admitted. She pushed the door open. Too late. Ryan. Sophie waved from the far side of the table. Her voice was sharp, but playful. The mystery man arrives! I raised an eyebrow. Mystery man? Chloe talks about you, Sophie said, like a lot. Chloe shot her a glare. Ignore her. I'd rather not, I said, forcing a small smile. It feels good to be talked about in a non-terrible way. Everyone laughed. I eased into my chair beside Chloe. Across from me, a tall guy with folded arms studied me like I was a suspect. He finally spoke. So, you're Ryan. Last I checked, I said carefully. I'm Ethan, he said flatly. Chloe's brother. I nodded. Nice to meet you. Depends, Ethan replied. What are your intentions with my sister? I blinked. The table went silent. Chloe groaned. Ethan, seriously? What? He shrugged. Someone has to ask. My throat tightened. Honestly, I don't even know what my intentions with myself are right now. I'm figuring it out. For a moment, he stared at me, then cracked the faintest smile. Good answer, Sophie clapped. See? Not a serial killer. The room filled with laughter again, and my shoulders loosened. As plates passed around, conversation grew easy. Mark, who had joined too, leaned toward me. You've changed, man, he whispered. Hopefully in a good way, I said. Definitely, he replied. You seem lighter. Chloe nudged me. Try the potatoes before Sophie eats them all. I resent that accusation, Sophie announced with her mouth full. I chuckled, surprising myself with how natural it felt. For the first time in months, the sound wasn't forced. Halfway through the meal, Sophie leaned across. So Ryan, rumor has it you were, how do I put this, dramatically dumped? Sophie, Chloe snapped. It's okay, I said. My fork paused, but I forced myself to continue. Yeah, that happened. Sophie tilted her head. Still hurts? Every day, I admitted softly. But I'm learning it doesn't have to define me. The table quieted. Chloe's hand brushed mine under the table, gentle, steady. I didn't pull away. Ethan broke the silence. Respect. Most guys would crawl back. You didn't. Thought. About it, I confessed. Still think about it sometimes, but I can't. Not after everything. That's strength, Ethan said. Chloe looked at me, her eyes soft. That's growth. The warmth of the room pressed against me, unfamiliar yet comforting. Sophie quickly lightened the mood. Okay, enough heavy talk. Ryan, important question. Pineapple on pizza, yes or no? I laughed. Absolutely yes. Sophie gasped theatrically. We can't be friends. You don't get a vote, Chloe teased. He's already ours. The word ours lingered in my mind. For months, I had felt like no one's. Now, sitting here, I felt included. Later, Ethan leaned closer. Look, I was rough earlier. Chloe's been through enough losers. You seem different. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. Fair, I said. I don't expect trust overnight. He nodded. Then we're good. The night stretched on with stories, jokes, and clinking glasses. I laughed so hard at one of Sophie's ridiculous impressions that I nearly spit water across the table. Careful, she warned, wagging a finger. You'll ruin Chloe's tablecloth and she'll kill you before Emily ever gets the chance. The mention of Emily twisted in my stomach, but the pain was duller now, almost distant. Chloe caught my glance, her expression reassuring. When dessert arrived, Chloe leaned toward me. You're smiling, she whispered. I noticed, I said softly. How does it feel? Strange, I admitted. But good, like maybe I don't have to stay broken. Her hand lingered against mine again, deliberate this time. I didn't move. The guilt rose, like I was betraying my past, betraying the pain, but it faded under her touch. I thought, maybe this is what moving on feels like. Not forgetting, just allowing light back in. Ethan raised his glass. To new faces, Sophie raised hers. To stolen potatoes, Mark lifted his. To progress. Chloe turned to me. To second chances. I met her eyes, my voice steady. To being alive again. And for the first time, I believed it. The laughter around the table felt easy, almost too easy, as if life had finally given me a break. Chloe leaned closer, whispering, You're smiling more tonight than I've ever seen. Maybe I'm finally remembering how, I said, my fingers drumming lightly on the table. Sophie raised her glass, to Ryan, who somehow survived Chloe's relentless pep talks. Everyone chuckled, and I lifted my glass too. She doesn't give anyone much of a choice. Chloe nudged me. You love it. Before I could answer, a hush rippled across the room. The restaurant doors opened and two familiar figures walked in. My chest tightened instantly. Emily, Jason. I froze. Their presence felt unreal, like ghosts materializing. Emily's eyes locked on me first, sharp, wide, disbelieving. Jason's smirk came fast, but the tension in his jaw betrayed him. Sophie leaned toward me. You okay? You just went pale. I'm fine, I whispered, though my heartbeat pounded like a drum. Emily took a hesitant step forward. Ryan, her voice cracked, thin as glass. I straightened in my chair, squeezing Chloe's hand under the table. What do you want, Emily? Just a minute to talk. Her eyes darted toward Chloe, then back to me, pleading. Jason scoffed. Closure. Emily? Really? He's not interested. Jason! She snapped, glaring at him. This isn't about you! Chloe's brother Ethan leaned forward, his eyes sharp on Jason. Is there a problem here? Jason bristled. No problem. Just running into old friends. I met his stare, calm and steady. We were never friends. Jason's smirk faltered. Emily stepped closer, desperation softening her voice. Ryan, please. Just one conversation. For everything we had, for everything you destroyed. I cut in, my voice low but clear. The table fell silent. My friends watched, tension rising like static. Emily swallowed hard. I regret it, okay? I made a mistake. I see you now, different, confident, alive. Her words tangled, and tears welled in her eyes. I shook my head. It's too late. Jason muttered. Pathetic. But his clenched fists told a different story. Sophie suddenly burst out, Wow, this is awkward. Should I order popcorn, or just let the drama unfold? A nervous laugh broke from Mark. Even Chloe cracked a small smile, though her grip on my hand never loosened. Emily's voice wavered. Ryan, I just want closure. That's all. I leaned back, letting the silence stretch before answering. There's nothing left to say. Her lips parted, but no words came. Jason tugged at her arm. Let's go. This is embarrassing. She resisted for a second, her gaze locked on mine, searching for something she'd never find again. Then, slowly she let him pull her away. As they turned, whispers floated from nearby tables. People noticed the scene, noticed her collapse, his rage, and my calm. Sophie exhaled loudly. Well, that was intense. 10 out of 10 for drama, 0 for subtlety. Ethan looked at me carefully. You handled that well. I nodded. I've already wasted enough words on them. Chloe squeezed my hand tighter. I'm proud of you. Inside, a storm raged. Memories, pain, betrayal, but above it all, something stronger took root. For once, I felt no urge to chase, no ache to beg. Watching Emily's face crumble was its own answer. Mark raised his glass again, breaking the silence, to letting the past walk out the door. We clinked glasses, the sound crisp, final. I leaned close to Chloe, whispering so only she could hear. You know what's funny? For the first time, I don't feel broken. I feel free. Her smile was soft, steady. Then tonight is a victory. I looked toward the restaurant doors one last time, watching them disappear into the night. A quiet satisfaction spread through me. Karma had spoken, and I hadn't needed to lift a finger. Her first text came at dawn. Ryan, please, just hear me out. I stared at it, my thumb hovering, then locked my phone. By noon, another. I know I hurt you. I was wrong. Please, can we talk? That night, my phone rang. I answered against my better judgment. Ryan, her voice trembled. It's me. I know, I said flatly. I made a mistake, she rushed. Jason isn't who I thought he was. He's not you. I laughed, bitter and low. That's supposed to mean something to me? I thought he cared, she whispered. But he doesn't listen, he doesn't see me. You did, always. My chest tightened, but I forced steel into my tone. You chose him, Emily. You didn't trip and fall. You walked. I regret it every day, she cried. I can't sleep. I keep thinking of you, of us. Please, Ryan, don't shut me out. You already shut me out, I snapped. Silence followed, heavy. I begged you once. Remember? And you turned your back. Why now? Because I was blind, she whispered. Because I was stupid. Please, give me one chance. One chance? I muttered. I gave you everything. That was your chance. Her sobs filled the line. I pressed the phone harder to my ear, my teeth clenched, my heart rebelling against my words. A part of me still ached to pull her back, but another part, stronger now, screamed, Don't. I can't, I said finally, voice breaking. I won't. I hung up, but she didn't stop. The next morning, she was outside my office. Ryan, she called, eyes red. Just 5 minutes. I stopped at the steps, fists in my pockets. Emily, go home. I can't. Not without you. She stepped closer. I see you with Chloe. You're happy, aren't you? I didn't answer. Her lips trembled. I should have been the one beside you. You were, I shot back, and you left. Jason, don't. I cut her off. Don't you dare blame him. You made the choice. She flinched. I was scared. I thought you'd never become the man you are now. I exhaled sharply. So I had to break before you believed in me? That's love to you? No, she whispered, tears streaming. That's fear, and I regret it. Her words pierced me, but I didn't move. My silence became my shield. Later that week, she appeared at my apartment. A knock. I opened the door to her trembling figure. Ryan, she pleaded. Let me in. No, please. No. I pushed the door halfway shut, but her hand pressed against it. "Don't do this," she begged. "Don't end us like this. We were real." "We were," I admitted, "but you buried it." "I love you," she blurted. The words froze me. Once, they would have shattered my defenses. Now, they rang hollow. "You don't get to say that." "Now," I whispered. "It's the truth. It's too late." Her tears blurred, but I kept my hand firm on the door. My voice cracked, softer this time. "Emily, I wanted you when it mattered, and you weren't there. Now I'm done chasing ghosts." Her body sagged, a sob escaping. "So that's it? After everything?" "That's it." With one final push, I closed the door. The latch clicked. Her muffled crying seeped through the wood, each sound slicing into me, but I didn't open it again. Inside, I leaned against the door, my chest heaving. My phone buzzed. Another message. I didn't check. Whispered to myself, "She's not mine anymore." And for the first time, I believed it. The restaurant buzzed with laughter, glasses clinking, forks scraping against plates. I sat beside Chloe, her hand brushing against mine under the table. For a moment, I forgot the world outside this circle of warmth. Then the sound of raised voices sliced through the chatter. "Jason, stop, please!" Emily's voice cracked, trembling enough to turn heads. I froze. My fork slipped from my hand, clattering against the plate. Chloe's eyes flicked toward me. "Ryan, what's going on?" I didn't answer. My gaze locked on the scene unfolding near the bar. Jason, red-faced, was towering over Emily. "You think you can embarrass me?" he barked, slamming his drink on the counter. Emily flinched. "I didn't say anything, Jason, you're drunk." "Don't tell me what I am." His laugh was sharp, bitter. "You left a man who loved you for me. Remember that? And now you're realizing I'm not your fantasy?" Gasps rippled through the room. My chest tightened. I wanted to look away, but I couldn't. Emily's voice shook. "Please, not here." Jason leaned closer, words venomous. "No, let's do this here. Everyone should know. You threw away a good man for me. And guess what? I don't even want you anymore." The words slammed into me, sharp as glass. For years I'd craved closure. Now it was handed to me like poison dressed as justice. Emily's hands trembled as she whispered, "Stop humiliating me." Jason smirked. "You humiliated yourself the moment you chose me." The silence that followed was heavy. I felt Chloe's fingers squeeze mine beneath the table. Her eyes searched my face. "Ryan, are you okay?" I swallowed hard, voice low. "I don't know." Emily's gaze darted across the restaurant and landed on me. For a heartbeat, the noise around me vanished. She looked broken, mascara streaking. Down her cheeks, lips quivering as if she wanted to speak but couldn't. "Ryan," she mouthed, barely audible. My chest ached, but I didn't move. I stayed seated, Chloe's warmth grounding me. For once, I wasn't the man chasing scraps of her affection. I was simply watching the truth unravel. Jason scoffed, tossing cash on the counter. "Find someone else to fix your mess. I'm done." He stormed out, leaving Emily frozen in the wreckage of her choices. The restaurant buzz resumed, whispers filling the air. Emily stood alone, trembling, her eyes glued to me. Chloe leaned close, whispering, "Do you want to go to her?" I shook my head slowly. "No, that chapter's finished." Emily took a step toward our table. Her voice cracked. "Ryan, please, can we talk?" I inhaled deeply. My words came out calm, steady. "There's nothing left to say." Her face crumpled. She stood there a moment longer, waiting for me to change my mind. But I didn't. Finally, she turned, shoulders shaking, and walked out into the night. I sat in silence, my thoughts a storm. A part of me wanted to run after her, to catch her before she disappeared. But another part, the stronger part, reminded me I already did that once. And it nearly destroyed me. Chloe whispered, "You're shaking. I glanced at my hands. She was right. They trembled against my glass of water. I never thought I'd see her like that, I admitted.
So lost, so fragile. Chloe's tone was gentle. And how do you feel? I stared at the door where Emily had vanished. My chest felt heavy, but not in the way it used to. I feel free. Chloe gave a small smile. Then maybe this is
the real beginning. Her words echoed inside me. I turned to her, really looking at her. The way her eyes didn't just see me but understood me. The way her presence felt less like escape and more like home. Chloe, I whispered. I don't think I could have survived this without you. She shook her head softly. You did survive. I just reminded you that you could. For the first time in years, I laughed. A quiet, genuine laugh that rose from somewhere deep inside. I reached for her hand, this time not hesitating. Do you ever feel, I asked, that life has a way of giving back what it took, but in a different form? She tilted her head. Are you saying I'm life's way of paying you back? Maybe, I said, squeezing her hand. Or maybe you're proof that I don't need payback. I just needed a reason to stop looking backward. Her smile warmed me. Then stop looking back. Tonight, look at me. I did. And for once, I didn't feel the ghost of Emily lingering between us. I felt present, alive, unchained. Later, when dinner plates were cleared and laughter filled our corner again, I leaned close to Chloe. My voice was steady, soft, but certain. I'm ready, I whispered. She looked at me curiously. For what? For whatever comes next. Her eyes sparkled. Good, because I'm not planning on going anywhere. I felt it then, not revenge, not triumph, but peace. True peace. Betrayal had destroyed me once, but survival had rebuilt me. And sitting there, holding Chloe's hand, I knew this wasn't the end of my story. It was only the beginning.